And welcome back to the Winning Moments. We have a jam-packed show and a special guest, so we're going to kick it right off. Kevin?
Yes, I'm Kevin.
You're
That's
Kevin.
Chris.
That's Kevin.
That's Chris. You're
Chris.
John.
Chris.
And we're going to have a
That's
special
not Chris.
young man.
That's Coach Ward.
Coach Ward.
Coach Ward. From Somerville.
Somerville, South Carolina.
South Carolina.
Yeah. No, this is great. And we're going to have someone else is going to join us. We have a special guest. I actually think our special guest could probably be on our show every week because of his knowledge of basketball. We're going to have him come on and talk about himself in a little bit and get into into how things are going here in Section 1 because the endless January. You guys got any snow this past weekend? Were you,
a little bit. Did you have some in Armonk?
Today, what's today? Today's like January 54th right now.
Yes,
it's like
it is.
the endless month. I say this all the time. I love the winter season basketball, but I hate the season of winter because it just doesn't end. And it's just this cold and this winter. But thank God we're not going to have this bad snowstorm this weekend that I thought was going to disrupt games. It was a foot of snow forecasted if you looked at it last Sunday. And we're going to get to play regular basketball this weekend, thank God. The snow's not coming.
Absolutely.
Yeah. But it's been a good week. More milestones, man. It is crazy. Like, so you and I, John, we've talked about like, all right, let's get some of the players, some of the viewers, parents, coaches, whoever it is, to send us in, who's going for 1,000 points, who's breaking school records, who's breaking bigger than school records. And you got great response from this already. And I'm seeing some of these, and I'm like, I didn't even know some of these. I'm obviously Michaela McLaughlin from only a sophomore, 59 points away from 1,000 career points as a sophomore.
That's crazy.
That's insane.
Insane.
Aaron Woodbury. All right, listen, 1,000 points at Woodlands. We knew how talented he is.
But I will tell you, Woodbury's 1,000-point, other than Phoebe, who by the way didn't hit a three-pointer her entire career, he hit his 1,000-point on a sick dunk.
Yeah.
He claimed he did it on a dunk. I think he had it in his head. I don't know if he had it in his head or not, but he made sure he finished it out
very well.
Tommy was good.
Yeah, was good.
Other players, Alex Vasquez from Saunders, 1,000 career points. Did in the 5th game of the season for Saunders, which is awesome. Player we're going to talk about, let's talk about Affie Middlebrook later. But Lauren Leon from Brewster on pace. So, there's a question that I have. And there's nobody I don't really have anyone specific because I've asked myself this question over the years, and I'm going to throw this out to you guys right now. There's a lot of players who have milestones, who go for school records, get all this stuff. Not everyone can win a championship. And so sometimes I think to myself, having young kids, and I think to myself, like, one day, what type of career would they? And you look at like these huge numbers that some players put up, and you're like, would you want that accomplishment, that achievement, or would you say I'd rather them score 600 points but always be in, competing to win games? Now, the obvious answer, you say this on camera, you're going to say this, out loud, is I want to win. I want to be playing for championships. But some of those other accomplishments are pretty awesome. And so, like, it really is a question that if you're going to ask honestly, Coach and John, it's hard to do both. It's really hard to do both. We know a guy who has a chance to do both, but he's joining us on our show. But it is something that I think about all the time, especially now as a parent. Like, what would you want? Would you want 1,500, 2,000 points, or to?
So is the question as a parent?
I'm going to ask as a parent because we have a lot of kids watching.
Am I responding as a parent?
I want you to respond as a parent.
Yeah, as a parent.
Okay, I'll respond as a parent. There was a guy that coached many years ago that did not get a chance to win a section championship as a coach, and said to himself that if his child ever got the chance to win and play for a section championship and win a section championship, and that was a trade-off, I would gladly pick my child winning a section championship.
That guy was you, obviously, right?
That guy was me.
That was you, yeah. So you're speaking from real experience, but
yes.
It is hard. It's one of those things. It's really like, and obviously if you have a choice, but like there's some players that just like the reality is they're not gonna be able to do that. Not gonna be able to play for a gold ball or play at the county center, and I think they'd probably all just give up whatever they've done for the chance to do it. Like, so look at Tappan Zee, and a lot of it had to come with awards and accolades. And I had George Gain on my show this week, and I talked to him, and he said, if you reach for individual awards, you're not going to win, and you're probably not going to get the awards. And right. he said, individual awards come from a team winning, and do whatever it takes to win. So it was like pretty profound.
I'll tell you as a parent. Okay, so as a parent, 100%, I'd like them to win the championship. Right? I think if you take Section 1 basketball, like the holy grail of high schools, just to play in the county center in the playoffs.
Yeah.
All right, you achieve that, great. After you've achieved that once, now you want them to win the championship at the county center and then move on.
Yeah.
I would want my son Sebastian to experience the winning of the championship. Now, if he was on a team that was never going to win a championship, okay,
This is a great
that just basically he was an amazing player, right, and he could break records, then you know what? I'd rather him break the records than win the champ because he's not going to. If there's no chance to win the championship, then absolutely, man, smash records because that'll stay with him forever.
Yeah.
As opposed to, even if my son, I remember my little brother Robert really didn't play basketball.
Yeah.
But he was on the team when Panis beat Elton Brand.
Patsy Beaksfield, 96.
Right.
Yeah.
So he was
Yeah.
on that team after I graduated. And
98. Yeah.
yeah, and that experience he'll remember forever.
Absolutely.
So that is, I think, something that'll live on more. But if my son was on a team that,
Yeah. So I'm gonna be honest with you, and the reason why this really is coming to my brain is because my oldest plays modified, she plays CYO, and she plays Tri County, and we had a week where we had some wins, we had some losses, but in two of the wins, we walked out, and part of me was like, we won, but she only had 6 points, and I was like, wait, I can't think that way. That's not the right way to think. I've spent my whole life like watching kids, and it's like team sacrifice. Don't do what it takes to win. She made a million other plays, but she only scored 6 points. And I was like, whoa, no, that's not how we do it. That's not. You have to remind yourself as a parent now, like it's got to be about the team. And yeah, you wish you scored more than 6 points. It's 6 more than some girls have scored, But you do have to kind of like always train your brain to think about like best for the team. Let's try and win. Winning is the only thing that matters. And have a great experience, but you ultimately want to win. So anyway, these are the things that go through my brain as I watch high school, and then as a reporter and a broadcaster, and then I watch youth as a parent, and it's like, don't be the hypocrite. Don't be the hypocrite, right, Kev? Don't talk to myself.
It's hard.
Yeah.
It's really difficult. What we've always tried to say to our son and to others that we've had play in our program, when you win, your stats will be just your stats take care of themselves.
Yeah.
Your success takes care of itself. I can speak to Christopher's senior year. He had a monster senior year. Jalen Savage had a monster senior year. And Christian Davis had a monster sophomore year.
Yeah.
And they were recognized for it. At the end of the year, they were all league, all conference, all section, all state. So if you have a team that wins, you're going to be recognized for your success.
No, exactly. And that's kind of the moral of the story. But it's just things that go through my brain when I watch and I see all these things and these accolades and these statistics. Go ahead, Coach.
But John's point is valid too. If you know you're going to be on a team that's going to be 4-16 or 5-15, and you're the best player on that team, you want to really light it up.
Yeah.
Totally.
And I think, Kevin, there's a middle ground, like, because your daughter is a phenomenal basketball player.
All right.
She's better than all.
She watches the show. We can't tell her she's phenomenal. She's
a very promising player.
Very promising. All right,
who has potentially a great
so
future.
as you can see, 3 personalities. She is a phenomenal young rising star. But to the point of that, her team's also pretty good. So like when they're getting like a big win or a blowout, I'm in the stands now saying, yeah, you know what? Rack up the points. Yeah. Right. The game is over. You got the win. Rack up the points. Like I enjoy that.
Yeah, I know.
So,
I don't know.
Man,
it's tough.
But
again, but if you're being real as a parent, I'm not saying what you're going to say on a show or what you say publicly. I want to know what you really feel.
think, yeah.
And you don't have to admit it to anybody else. I'm just saying. This is just something I want everyone
we'll
to
just keep it right here.
We'll keep it right here.
I think you guys leave in the comments which one of us were being real during this segment. By all means, share with us on social media, and we'll put a vote out there.
Yeah,
in this
that's
segment,
good.
Okay?
That's good. But other than that, it was great. Albertus Magnus got a huge win over Morris Catholic, 20-point win,
resounding.
Yeah, that was pretty convincing. Obviously, Julia Scott, Sarah Najai went for 33 points. She was phenomenal, and Julia Scott was just tremendous again. But you realize how good Maddie Zuppi is, man, running the point and running that show. I mean, she really doesn't we haven't given her enough credit. I think if you watch Albertus Magnus play, you realize just how much the point guard matters, and she's
Their
so
guard
good.
plays outstanding.
Yeah,
I think Sarah went 33, 5, and 5.
Yeah, she was great. I mean, she's just so physically dominant. We say this every week, just how she just is so tough and so strong. It's impressive.
And Zupi's really good.
Yeah,
she
just the vision
runs
and the
show.
unselfishness.
Yeah. I mean,
Listen,
ultimate
I
team
think
player.
when you got a superstar that is a big man, right? Like in
Yeah.
that scenario, you need a really good guard. You need
Yeah.
a guard that knows how to get the ball to their players in the right, put them in the right position.
Totally.
You know, I think listen, I'm biased, but the guard position is the most important, primarily because that's the only position I've ever been play due to my height restrictions in life.
Yeah.
So yeah.
But
you weren't playing in the post.
So that was the Albertus Magnus win was big. You know, down the road at Pearl River, the girls they're coming, man. I mean, that's a young team. Chris Wolgard, we talked about him last week, is one of our teams of the week. They go out and they beat Irvington by 20 yesterday. So I'm impressed. And then staying in Rockland County. This is our Rockland County show. This is a big show for me.
It's a big show for you.
Obviously
That's
huge,
right.
You know, my
That's
Rockland
right.
County.
Oh, here we go.
I never lived in Rockland County a minute in my life, but everyone thinks I'm a Rockland County guy. And but Nanuet boys, another one. Just watch out. That's a team nobody's going to want to play down the stretch, and we're going to see this week. They have a big schedule. They've been close to beating. I watched the clip. I didn't realize that they really should have beat Tappan Zee.
There was a controversial picture that's being floated around social media.
Social media, really.
I just know that term. I don't know how to
there's
get
controversial things on social media.
Yeah, once in a while.
So we stay out of that. But no, that was something I saw it also. And then just other things we're talking about on the show. But this is when teams make their move, right? This is the time of the season where teams start making their move and start teams either get healthy or they get into gear or they get themselves coaching. All the teams have had they're probably in their 40th to 50th practice for the season. They've only played maybe half their games, and then they're going to sprint to the finish here and play games every day. And the teams that are best equipped are the ones that took advantage of that practice time.
So, Coach, from a coaching standpoint, right now, like as Kevin said, we're in the rhythm. All the excuses of legs, all the excuses of the exception of being healthy or not, all the excuses of where your team is today from a physical standpoint, from a player. But from a coach's standpoint, how are coaches prepared right now to take the second half of the season to get that run they need to win in the county center?
Refine everything you do. Refine everything you do to the detail. So your sideline out of bounds plays where you can steal 2 to 4 points, and on the base. I mean, on the baseline out of bounds plays, steal 2 to 4 points. Let's say it's the end of the game, sideline out of bounds. Have a sideline out of bounds where if they're hugging and face guarding you man to man, you can get a layup and end the game, seal the game. Have a press break, a special press break that they haven't seen before that can steal you a game. And then be so good defensively, be really sound defensively with regard to possessions, positioning, never be out of position to the step, to the spot, whether it's man-to-man or zone, and then offensive execution. And I'm going to come back to this again. When you run your stuff, you better be able, when you drive and collapse the defense, to make what? Open what? Catch and shoot jump shots.
Yeah.
This is not hard. And we're going to talk about somebody I saw this week with regard to that piece. And our guest does a pretty nice job at that as well.
Let's get to our guest.
Exactly. I think that's a perfect segue into our guest. We'd like to welcome to the show, an honor to have him, Jake Pampolina. How we doing, Jake?
Good, how are you?
Suffern Zone, coming from Rockland County, my favorite place, coming over the bridge. You make it over here all right today? You and your dad, Carl, came over. So we can shout out Carl because everyone knows your dad.
Yes, they do.
Like, how do you deal with that? I mean, you walk into gyms and people are like, "Hey, what's up, Jake?" And they go, "Hey, what's up, Carl? What's up, Coach?" Everyone calls him Coach, right?
Yeah, a lot of people know him around Rockland County, so yeah.
Yeah, listen, Coach Carl is state champion.
CYO.
State champion, Coach Carl, state champion. Yeah.
He didn't. We asked a little information, give us a little information, and he left out his accolades, But
right, it's like Coach John with Rec League. It's Coach Carl who has state championships. So yeah,
you win a state championship in CYO at the A level. That's an accomplishment.
Pretty good. It's pretty good. So Jake, obviously you've championships are in your sight. We just had a spirited conversation. You just heard about. As a parent, which you're not a parent, you're a player, but, accolades and statistics and against winning. And I'm sure you sat there and you're like, dude, we just want to win, right? That's pretty much what you were thinking?
Yeah, I'd rather win than score. So many close games. Thank God that I have a lot of opportunity to score because my coaches believe in me. But I'd rather win. If I could have won a gold ball 2 years ago when I made the championship game, I would give everything back for that.
Yeah, we'll talk about that because that's a game that I think back to pretty often. Just because it was a great basketball game. It was an unbelievable basketball game, atmosphere. You guys against Peekskill, but can you recall games when like you didn't get like a big scoring number and you guys won like an important game?
This year against Clarkstown North, the first time we played them, the game was 37-34. Yeah. And
nobody scored.
Yeah, no one scored.
I watched that game tip off the buzzer.
That was a big game for us. It was the first day before winter break, so a lot of guys we were tired. Like we hadn't had a break since summer. So I know I was gassed. All the guys on the court were gassed, and I think I only scored maybe 18 points. And for me, I hold myself to a high standard.
18 to 30. Let's interject that. 18 to the 37, Jake.
Yeah.
Okay.
I only scored 18 points.
I had an off
no,
night.
but I get it.
No,
and like you
no
had
doubt.
it was a. But I think I remember the game. You had a lot of free throws in the game. Like it wasn't like a fluid 18 points,
Yeah.
But yeah, you're right. I laugh. It's just I only had 18 points. But yeah, that's a good example of, and you've just got to find a way to win.
Yeah.
Find a way to win these games.
Yeah.
You guys have only lost one game this season. It was to Clarkstown North the second time around. Talk to me about going on the road to North, and which was 67-58, and it was a close game down to the wire. But just tell me about what that loss may have done for you guys.
It gave us a lot of hunger. Our team needed that. We needed something to spark us for the rest of the year, and we look back to that game every single day and saying that we need to win the day, and we need to just keep on moving. Our process, I gotta say in every interview, we think it's the best in Section 1. There's a lot of teams up there, but we put ourselves over them because we know we can come into every single day and work hard. And going into that gym, it's a small gym. They got a lot of length. They play a 1-3-1 zone. That was a tough game for us, and it gave us a moment of growth. We didn't take away from that game. We were mad. We knew we could come back the next day because we had a game on Wednesday and a game on Friday that we can go in there, come into the practice gym, go into our home court, and just be relieved. We get to play basketball for another day.
Yeah. And again, you were on the road the next two games. You went to Roosevelt. They're a tough matchup. This was the size they have inside. Yep. You go beat them on the road 71-61. I think that game on Friday at Rye was probably proof that, okay, maybe the loss was a good thing for them because you and the team played with a different purpose and just absolutely tore apart a great defensive Rye team, but also an extremely athletic Rye team.
Yep.
How important was that win for you guys?
Very important. Guys on our roster knew that we needed to bounce back, and we needed to bounce back through maybe the papers or just give ourselves team confidence. Our coaches hold us to a very high standard. They yell at us even if we have a bad mistake in one drill in practice. We have to hold ourselves to a high standard. And playing against Rye, two guys that won a state football championship, they're in the record books for Section 1 for football. You don't get a better game than that. They're great athletes, both committed to a very good school, prestigious school, and we knew we had to come in there and prove to Section 1 that we're still here and we can do it.
You know what I love about this? That was was one of our games of the week. It was one of the ones where Kevin was saying like, "Hey, this is a real challenge for you guys, especially because those guys we all talked about them 2 weeks in a row. They got their legs back. They're ready to play. They were in basketball shape, basketball readiness, and you guys came in to get that big win. And before your next question, Kevin, like I just want to say." You're not only prepared to play ball, and it was fun to watch you this weekend, and we'll talk about that, but talking about teams' defenses and what it's prepared to, and if anyone ever doubted that you were a baller, we have something to prove to Section 1. Like looking right into this camera at the studio,
he's very comfortable.
He's comfortable. And I would say to everybody who's about to play this young man for the next few weeks, be prepared.
Yeah, be prepared. And so that is something that I picked up on whenever I've spoken to you and we did the media day and stuff, and I'm like, he kind of like has a good aura to like his confidence, right? You feel it, Coach?
Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
I mean, you walk in a gym and you get it. I've coached against him too. So I have two angles with it with Jake. Number one, I love the fact the summer. They've been doing this since the summer. That puts a team at a different place. That's a different mindset. Not everybody in Section 1 does that the way that they do it at Suffern. And then number two, I just like the fact that everything that you talk about is team concept, but you still have a singular edge because you know that you can impact winning by doing what you do.
Yeah, no, absolutely. So you're averaging 25, almost 26 points per game, right? So you're obviously having a phenomenal senior season. But let's go back to 2 years ago when I think as a sophomore, you kind of really broke out. I mean, I the talk was, you got to see this kid from Suffern, right? And so, it was a guy before you, Clev Lubin, who was awesome. I mean, he was one of the best players I've seen come through Rockland in some time. And then here comes Jake, and he come through, lead the team to the section final, and we talked about the Peekskill game. What did you learn that night? Because that was probably the greatest learning experience I think you're ever going to have, right?
Yeah, definitely. They're a great team. And I think learning from that game, we had a lot of young guys on that team. We were a very young team. We had one senior playing the whole game. Like, he was the only guy that played, one senior. And we learned. And Coach Wright brought us in, I think, 2 weeks after, and we started working again. That's kind of program we have. And it's not about, I obviously missed 2 free throws at the end of the game. It could have probably put us over the edge and won that game and not have to go into overtime against that crazy team. They were athletic. They had Jaden Chavis, great player. And we learned that it's not going to come easy. It doesn't matter where you're playing. Every environment's hostile, whether it's a quiet gym or whether it's a loud gym. You have to come in there ready to play. And I think with some mistakes that night, it's not all about on those 2 free throws, but every little mistake counts. And it doesn't matter if it's a little one, big one. You have to come in there, be prepared for the worst. And then hopefully the outcome is better than you think. But we came right back to work. And gives us confidence for the next 2 years after that. Yeah,
and obviously last year, you guys were in AAA last year, back down in AA this year, and now one of the front runners to make the county center and to maybe keep for a championship. And we'll talk about that, and obviously the expectation of that, probably a little bit of pressure. But I just wanted to ask you about Coach Wright and Coach Scott Wright. He's got like 6 kids at home, right? What does he have?
5.
5 kids at home. Feels like 6. Feels like when I see with this kid, it's 10. But he talks about you like you're like number 6 basically in his family. Just what has the relationship been with Coach?
Yeah, I mean, me and Coach have funny story. Like when I was a freshman, I didn't know if I was gonna be trying out for varsity or not. I had played a couple games in the summer, but I was still unsure. And he told me. I told him I actually had AAU practice, and he was like, "No, you're coming to practice today. You're trying out for varsity." So from that point on, I kind of knew he believed in me, and from the minute I stepped on the floor with him, he's always been that second father to me. Obviously, my father's right here behind the camera is my biggest supporter, but Coach Wright, he believes the world of me. He believes the world of everyone on our team, and I think we're 1 through 12 are his kids outside of his home, and he takes care of us like you wouldn't even imagine. He's been a great mentor. He teaches us to be great young men, and he wants more than basketball, wants us to go into the world in the future and be great young men. And I think that's the kind of relationship that every player needs with their coach.
Absolutely.
It's very important.
It is. And I saw recently, I think it was this week, you guys had like a team dinner at the house, and you met his poor wife, who's the greatest to cook for you guys. It's like she needs more people to cook for at home. But it really is. And I've said to Coach, right, I'm like, Coach, how are you going to coach varsity high school basketball at a high level and the time that's required when you got 5 kids at home? And he just, I don't think he could ever imagine not. And then he also has to sneak in a lift because he's probably one of the most jacked coaches.
Yeah, he probably is.
Yeah, it's funny. we were Coach Ward and I were at the tournament this weekend, and we're sitting in the stands in between games, and Coach Wright and his staff walks in, and they're in the corner by the door, and they're all in their shirts and ties, and someone says to me like, "What's going on? Who's shirt and ties? Like what? Because they were the last game. What's going on with those guys?" I just didn't say a word. Right? They walked in, they came, and you just saw domination from walking through the gym in their shirt and ties, ready to go, versus everybody else like some random, tournament.
Yeah, no, he's and he does. He sets a great example for the program. And he's, as we said, he's a huge advocate of yours. I
believe his kids work there with them too. They're part of the team.
So I want to piggyback on the family thing. So John and I are there. We meet Coach Wright's 2 daughters who were involved in the program.
Yep.
We met everybody, this one and that one. It was family. We had to meet everybody. We met he introduced us to everybody.
Yeah.
And it was really cool. And Coach Semino was like, you guys got to leave. Remember, he said, like, the custodians got to close it up now. We were out there talking like we were hanging out. Mr. Pampolina, right?
Yeah.
We were there all hanging out, just talking.
And I don't know Coach's wife, but I would say this, that the daughters that were there, Coach demands a lot of presence. I mean, you know that. Yeah. The daughters demanded just as much presence.
Yeah.
Control the team, control the media. They were phenomenal.
They came up and made they talked to I'm Coach Wright's daughter, I'm Coach Wright. Yeah, I mean, they were no joke. They run the show now.
Yeah, absolutely. And so again, the great support. You obviously had your biggest supporter, your grandfather, right? Passed away. This how difficult has that been? And just kind of, is this season just about dedication and memory and things like that?
Yeah, he was my biggest supporter. I think I was the closest with him and my family. And this past week, it would mark the year of his passing. And I think it was the game we just played against South. And I knew he was with me because I scored 35 points. We got a big team win. Everyone kind of is on a first name basis with my grandma. And like everyone plays for her. They know, even Coach Wright's mother, we do it for the people that are outside the program and that show the biggest support. And I think it starts really from our grandparents. Everyone on our team is raised very well, and everyone's very close with their grandparents. Even some of our teammates, like, even they have some tattoos of their parents' writing or grandparents' writing, and it's just like, just having that moment. My grandpa passing, just playing for him. I dedicate a lot to him. He was definitely one of my biggest supporters. I was very close to him, and just getting to play basketball another day. That's what it really means. I may get emotional sometimes when I think about him, but I know he was there with me, and he's my biggest supporter.
That's great. And listen, I have 3 kids that play a lot of basketball. We have 10 games this weekend coming up for the 3 of them.
Another 10.
And me, Mom, and Papa, my wife's parents will be at every single one of them they can go to. And they walk in a lot, and people are saying like, "Oh, your in-laws are always at games." And every time I have the same response, I go, "Yeah, my kids are so lucky." Yeah, it's the greatest thing. You know, that they have that to support. It's just an extra set there, and it keeps us calm too, probably as parents. You know? This is how you can't yell in front of me, my papa. You can't do that. So that's great, man, and that's hopefully something you're gonna take with you the rest of your life. That relationship. There's a record. I'm sorry, John. Go ahead.
Before you get to there's something that was very interesting when we talked the other day, where we were talking about your shooting, right? Your release and your shooting, and I was complimenting you on how big of a baller you are, and then you showed me your wrist.
Yep.
Okay, which blew my mind. So when did you have surgery on your wrist?
I got surgery September 2nd, 2 days before school started.
Okay. Yeah. So talk about how hard it was to get surgery on your wrist, and what you did in preparation to come back to have your senior year, how you thought it would be going through high school.
Yeah, that was definitely tough. It was a 4-month recovery, and I was playing on a broken wrist for 3 months. Beforehand, I injured it during the live period twice. So mentally, not knowing where I'm going to college, I was trying to play in front of scouts. It was definitely tough. But I knew I had to make it back for the season, and I pushed myself every single day. Obviously, you don't know how fast a bone's going to heal. And thank God I went to the best surgeon, probably in the world for hands. But she got me back immediately. I got back in 1 to 2 months, and it could have been a 3 to 4 month recovery time. And I made it back a week before the season started, before the first practice was allowed. And just mentally, I think that's just showed mental resilience, because I didn't know how this year was going to be. I didn't know if I was going to be able to play to 100% how I was been playing the past couple of years. And just getting back to where I am now, and I still feel like I still haven't played to my capability yet. And I'm still getting the kinks out. I'm still getting my wrist motion back. And you're talking about shooting. When we talked about last weekend, it's been tough. It's really been tough. The range is not there yet, and the release is still not as fast as I want it to be. But it's about staying after practice, getting there before practice, just getting shots up. Because I think repetition is the only thing that's going to make it bring it back. And I'm willing to work, because I just want to get it back and play college basketball.
That's amazing.
You have a very high threshold for pain.
Yes, you must.
You really do.
There's also a high threshold for like mental pain. So like, we're old men, right? So like, we can't run down the stairs as fast as we once did, and we're like, there's little things that when you get to our age where you're going to be like, man, I used to be able to do this. I used to be able to golf ball farther, and like so that's a hard thing for your brain to be like, all right, maybe I'm not as good as I once was. You're able to work you're gonna be able to work your way back, but it's hard to. You probably frustration is probably high when when your shot leaves your hand. You're like, damn, that's not good. It doesn't feel good. Doesn't look good.
Speak for yourself. I think I'm a better basketball player now than I was then because I put the competition much lower, so I feel a lot better as I'm playing.
John Lynn, that's a good way of doing it.
We talk about the record because we've stalled long enough on this one, but you've scored a lot of points. Second most right now in Rockland County history, and you're 11 points away going into tonight's game against Tappan Zee. 11 points away from Brendan McManus's from Pearl River's record, which is a 2005. So it's
21 years.
21 years. So 21 years record. You need 11. The problem is you're going up against Tappan Zee, and they've got this kid, Jack Bacone. I don't know if you know him. He's not a nice kid. He's tough to play against. Some people don't like him. I'm joking. Obviously, he's one of your best friends.
Yeah.
So what is that like
That's
going in?
crazy.
He's one of your best friends.
Yeah,
and
he
he's standing in your way. I mean, he's probably going to guard you a little bit, right?
Yeah, definitely. Jack.
I love Jack.
Well, yeah, one of my best
We're
friends.
big fans of Jack Bacone.
Been on vacation with him a couple times. AAU tournaments, just getting to know him as a person. I think it gives us an even playing field. We both know what we like to do on offense and defensive end, and just getting to play an opportunity to get to play against him. Since the game's not at home, obviously I won't break it in front of the home crowd. But if anything, I would like to play against TZ because of how high level of a game it's going to be, but also the fan base around there. I give all the credit to TZ. I basically grew up there. That's where we practice in AAU. We practice at Stack over there in Orangeburg.
Yep.
And just the support from their fan base to their team, you could see that they're a very well coached team.
You respect it.
I respect them.
Yeah.
And I know every single kid on that team.
Okay.
And just knowing Jack as a person and just knowing what he's been through, I can't. If breaking the record, I don't care if it happens, but I'm just glad I get to play against him when it happens because.
If he lets you.
If he lets me. If he lets me. But, I will
listen,
always.
I don't think he has a choice, guys. I don't think he has a choice.
I have to do it against him.
Yeah.
But just doing it against him, as he's one of my best friends, I'm just happy. If anyone, it's him.
Yeah, no, he's awesome. And I had George Gannon on my other show this week, and we talked, and I said I'm going to give you my TZ 5, my 5 from the last 30 years of watching Tappan Zee basketball. And I was Pat Peterson, who was a great shooter, or the greatest shooter, one of the great shooters. And I had Kevin Lynch, big man, Sean Berrigan, who played a couple years ago. I had Billy O'Shea, who played in the 2013 team. And my 5th guy was Jack Bacone, because I said, if we're going to be real about what makes TZ great, it's defense. He's the best defensive player I think they've ever had.
Yep.
So
Yes.
it's hopefully that makes up for my little joke about him not being a nice guy. awesome kid, awesome competitor,
Greatest defender ever. Kevin's
he's phenomenal.
Listen, it's Duke-esque over in Orangeburg, and Friday night in Orangeburg,
Yep.
in Tappan Zee's house will be absolutely electric. I think you couldn't ask for a better environment.
No, definitely not.
And I also think this. I think that with regard to the matchup, I don't think it's about Jack versus you necessarily. I think it's how TZ defends you, because Coach Wright does a lot of innovative, creative things to get you open that I absolutely love, and I've discussed on the show on several different episodes. And so I think that them guarding you as a team, from a team aspect, is a little bit more, I think, is more important than the individual.
Yeah.
You're a basketball fan, though, and you're a Rockland County basketball fan, so you have to watch what TZ does. And they're not in your class now, so you can say nice things. It's incredible. Like you watch, and then you look at North Rockland and how they compete. It's Rockland County basketball right now. I mean, listen, I wouldn't be shocked if TZ, Pearl River, Suffern, Clarkstown North, North Rockland, even Nanuet, or all at the county center in the Final Four. I mean, it's incredible. So what you're doing, breaking a record, a scoring record, is great, but doing it this year, when Rockland County might not be top to bottom as good as it is, has been in 30
I can't
years.
remember it being this good.
Alberta's just good. Like everything's
Alberta's
good.
and they got a young backcourt with a young Pat Buckley's son in that backcourt.
Of course, yeah.
Listen, I don't think anyone, Kevin, would be surprised that you chose every Rockland team to be at the county Final Four.
John
I think
Lim.
everybody knows
man.
that.
There we go.
You're
I just hope I didn't leave anybody out. You know, Spring Valley and Ramapo. It's tough. But yeah, no. So to do it now, it's to do it this year, it's kind of like pretty impressive. So TZ, as we said, they're not in your class, and then you have another game against Pearl River. You finish the regular season against North Rockland. There's other games mixed in, but you got to feel good about where the team is right now, going down the stretch here into the playoffs.
Yeah, we're preparing for every game like it's a championship. Every game is a championship. We want 2 home games in the playoffs. We want to obviously make it to the county center, but it's a day-by-day process, and you have to win the day. If you don't win the day, it translates into the next day, and you have to fight back from a lower level, and you don't want that. Coach Wright prepares us every single day. Our coaching staff, they watch so much film that I don't even think it's healthy. But
Kurt Signetti-esque.
I don't think it's healthy, and they hold us to that standard. They can see how many minutes we're watching per game, per day, and they hold us to that standard, and that's what we want. We want to be pushed, and we want to be pushed because in the future we're gonna have to go into our lives, and it's gonna be hard.
Yeah.
And if you learn from a young age, then it's obviously gonna be easier. So day by day, win the day, and just championship days every single day.
So you have won at a young age. I was talking about the CYO championship, and when you do those things in Rockland County, schools from New Jersey call your house and say, "Hey, would you like to come?" Like, did you ever think about going to a private school in Jersey?
I did. I put a little thought into it, but when you have a coach like Coach Wright and our assistants, they persuade you because you get to play for your hometown and you get to be that, not a hometown hero, but you get to have a name in a town that you stayed home and you're helping your community win. And it's not just a championship for the basketball team, it's a championship for the whole community. And that's what we want, and that's what our goal is at the end of the season. And obviously there's the Don Bosco Prep right next in Ramsey. It's 10 minutes away from my house. You got Bergen Catholic and Ramapo, the public school.
Yeah.
And they all came. But I played I played 8th grade. In 8th grade, I played freshman, and you lose a year of eligibility in Jersey. So a lot of them were like, you might have to sit out a year, and I wasn't willing to do that. It would stunt my development, and just playing for the community and stuff, and you can't pass that up.
Of course.
And by the way, I'm sorry, John. By the way, Mountie Nation. Let's not sleep on Mountie Nation.
Yeah.
When when home game, you have 2 playoff games at home. That place will be absolute bedlam, and your group, your fan base, really gets after it. And I think they're underrated.
We are. Yeah.
So Jake, we're gonna have to stick around, and we're gonna go through our players of the week. John, you want to do that?
Yeah, I think that's a great thing. We could talk about this young man forever, honestly. But I think there are some other players here that he knows about, and he'd be happy to stay on and contribute.
So this guy, our first player of the week nominee on the boys' side, is Affy Middlebrook from Pauling, who, when you play up in Pauling, people typically don't see you play, right? So they're kind of very off the path there. They came down to play Tuckahoe at Mount Vernon. Did they play right before you guys? Or yeah, right before you guys.
Yeah.
Did you? I mean, so I watched this kid. Affy posts a lot on social media, and I'll come across every once in a while. I'll put on Instagram and Twitter, and I'm just like, man, this kid's pretty dynamic. And sometimes you trick yourself into saying, well, if no one else is talking about him, like I don't want to be the only one. But then I watched, Coach, you watched him this week, and it was like, whoa.
John Lim and I saw him live.
Yeah.
He is really good. How good was he, John? Lefty.
Yeah.
John Crotty-esque, for those people that know who John Crotty is, former Utah Jazz point guard, Virginia great back in the day.
Was quite a pull.
Yeah, absolutely. And he just, he's 27, 4 and 4. So 20 points a game, 7 rebounds, 4 assists, 4 steals.
He has some high assist games.
He's going to be he'll be one of the best players in Section 1 next year as a senior.
He's a baller. He's
28
a baller.
points, 9 assists, 3 steals, 6 rebounds in the loss to Tuckahoe, which was a tight loss. I mean, that's a tough matchup for him. 19 points, 7 assists, 3 blocks, and when they beat Croton on senior night on Wednesday. So Pauling's 10-7 on the season, so I don't remember Pauling. It's been a long time since Pauling has had a record double-digit wins. They go to Blindbrook. They play Blindbrook. Do you guys go in there on next week? Are you going on the road at Pauling? Because you might have to get a hotel.
I don't know.
Take your skis.
I don't know.
Take your skis.
Take your skis.
It's far, man.
I gotta check.
So,
Yeah.
have you ever did you go check? Did you catch Effie before the game, or are you just locked in ready for yours?
No, we saw and we believed that he should have had the ball in his hands. He was tough. He was a tough player, and none of us knew kind of what Pauling, because they're such a small school.
I know, yeah.
And we saw him play, and we were like, that kid's good.
He's legit.
Yeah,
He has a great pound fadeaway, a pull-up fadeaway shot that they couldn't stop him. If he wanted to more baskets that he missed a little bit, they would have won that game. He's a baller.
Yeah, absolutely.
Coach Kuhlman, Coach Martino, Coach Van Schaften have done a fantastic job up there.
Yeah.
Small community, and they don't fear anybody. Their schedule's pretty tough.
Yeah, John Martino is an assistant coach. It's kind of cheating. He's a longtime Brewster coach. He was, he's a
been
great
around
coach and just a guy who.
And Jason's got
a
him.
guy who watches probably much more film that's healthy for him. Yeah, he's spent a lot of
absolutely.
time. So that's our first player of the week nominee, Affie Middlebrook. Davey Ryan from Rhinebeck. Rhinebeck's on a 4-game winning streak. He had 31-11 in a win on Wednesday over YMA, 19 points in a win over Han Hud, which they won that game 59-53. He had 24 points. He's been doing it all during this winning streak. Rhinebeck, obviously one of the smaller Class A schools, but Davey Ryan has been terrific. And then our final player of the week's Players of the Week nominee, because there's two of them, the Wolves. Tommy and Joe Wolf, my own Prep, the brothers. Joe, Tommy, they combined for 28 in a win over Mount on Tuesday. They combined for 34 in a win on Friday over Scanlon. And Joe was awesome against Hayes the week before. Cardinal Hayes, by the way, I'm telling you, man, Stepanek should be a little, not worried, but like Cardinal Hayes is the team. Like they're really talented. They're getting better. They're getting better every week. So they play on Friday night. So.
Talk about a great gym to play in. Like my dad went to Cardinal Hayes. We played against Cardinal Hayes. Went to Cardinal Spellman, and that gym is just a phenomenal place to play. And the energy in that gym is like
New York City basketball, though. You know what it is? The better the gym to play in, the worse the gym is to park at.
Yeah.
So like that's usually how it goes. It's like it's a scale, right? So Cardinal Hayes is the absolute worst to try and
absolute
get
worst.
to. Yeah. So Players of the Week, those are our 3, 4, really.
All right, so let's go, Coach, first. Who's your vote for Player of the Week?
My vote for Player of the Week is Afton Middlebrook.
I wanted to go first. Yeah, go ahead.
And I got a chance to see him live. I love his footwork. He's really good with the ball in his hands. His up and under move in the lane was, John, how good was his up and under move?
Yeah.
Great ball fake. He's just got so much. He's a college level player.
Yeah.
Somebody's going to get him, and he can play, and that's my Player of the Week this week.
He's got a bag. You're right. Most players, Jake's got a bag, right? You have a bag that you can lean into whenever you need to at whatever the point of the game calls for. Affie's got a bag.
Yeah,
up and under, right, over the shoulder in the drive.
That fade off the
pull up,
right hand
fade
dribble.
Off, right. He's got a bag. He's got a whole bag. So yeah, I can see what you're saying,
Ability
Coach.
to create, to me, Affie's a Player of the Week.
Yeah.
Just creating on his own. Doesn't need 2 double screen or anything like that. He just goes and gets it. So it's it was fun to watch, man. It really was.
Now listen, we don't have to put you on the spot, but if you want to take a vote, what do you think?
I would say Affie Middlebrook.
Yeah?
Yeah,
Clean
lefty,
sweep for Affie.
Yeah, lefty southpaw.
You don't meet many Affies either. That's pretty good.
Yeah, absolutely.
We going boys team of the week, or are we doing girls player of the week? What do we do next?
Let's go. Let's
my 9th show. I don't remember the
let's go girls.
Girls player of the week. All right.
Yeah.
So this kind of feeds into our discussion at the top. First player of the week nominee is Stella Ziogas from New Rochelle, right? So here she is. She's just got announced as one of the next round finalists for McDonald's All-American.
I saw that.
Awesome. She's committed to play at Siena College. 32 points in a loss to Mamaroneck. Her team's 3-11. So it's like she played for a section championship with her older sister. I think there's 4 sisters. She played with her older sister a couple years ago. New Rochelle made the section championship game. And so she had a taste of competing at a high level. This year's team, it's just hard, man. They're just too young, too inexperienced. And with the way the schedule has been, New Rochelle girls, I feel like they play a tough game every day. It's like a challenge. That league is tough. They should be able to get into the playoffs when you look at the remaining schedule. Get a win over Mount Vernon. 4 or 5 wins will probably get them in. But it's going to be tight. But Stella deserves, to be mentioned and to get a chance to go to the postseason. It may mean having to go to Albertus, which they did last year, and she put up scared Albertus. I think she scored 35 points in that game.
Yes, she did.
So she's a phenomenal shooter, and honestly, you can make a case she might be one of, if not the best all-around athlete athletes in, a great flag football player and a great soccer player. So Stella Zayogis is a girl we just haven't gotten to talk about this season, but she is so talented. So she's our first player of the week nominee. Next player is Allie Kaminsky from Ketchum. So I did on another show, I did my 5 stars for Class AAA, and I struggled a little bit. She was like right there, and I didn't put her on. I snubbed her, and she came out and showed me. Well, led her team to her 5th straight win.
That's usually what happens over here.
5th straight win. They were down 14-0 to Arlington, 19-3 also on Wednesday. She led them back to win the game. She had 16 points, 15 rebounds, 8 assists, and that was after she had 12, and 8 assists against Scarsdale in a win. She's good, man. She's really.
I saw her live.
Yeah.
She's no joke.
Yeah. Again, we talk about Sarah Nijai's strength. I mean, Allie Kaminsky, she's going downhill towards the basket. There's
It's
nothing
done.
to do,
You're not stopping.
And like you can't even if you put contact, you're not even if you foul her, she's probably gonna make the N1. Like she's really gifted.
I love the triple-double-esque right here on these games. That's
yeah.
And
Hamilton girls, hottest team in Section 1. Talking about teams making a move. Jai Oliva, they beat Tuckahoe this week. So she's my player of the week just because of just her coming back to the school and just has them back. And, they're not in Class C. If they're in Class C, that Tuckahoe, North Salem, Hamilton trio would be nice.
Would be fantastic.
They're in Class B. So they got YMA to contend with, which I'll tell you, I think on the right day, YMA's still the clear favorite in Class B, but Hamilton is... I didn't think anyone was going to challenge YMA, but Hamilton can because of just this team and how they're now kind of all back together, and they're probably the most confident team that I think we've seen in the last couple weeks in girls' side. So those are our 3 girls players of the week.
All right, well, since this time I got slightly yelled at for putting coach first, let's go Kevin. Kevin, who's your player of the week?
I'm going to go Stella Zayogis from New Rochelle. I just so impressed with, again, we talked about Madison Borstein last week, about the injuries on her team, and she's basically kind of has to try and carry a scoring load on her own. Zayoga's been doing it all year, and she's continued to put up big numbers in big games.
Coach?
Well, we're going to let Jake go first.
We will. No, okay. Coach, don't put the young man on the spot.
Okay. I didn't know if we're going to go in order.
All right, go ahead.
All right. So I'm going to go with a young lady that we've worked with when she was younger, Jaya Oliva from Hamilton.
Yep.
Someone's alma mater.
Yeah.
And she's having a great senior year. Like speaking to what Jake said about staying in the community, she came back to the community, Jake, because she wanted to have her senior year with the people that she grew up with. Yeah. So,
man, I was all ready to brag to Jake that I knew you guys so well, and I completely missed it. I missed it. I missed the Hamilton reference.
Yeah.
Damn, Coach, I thought I had you, but I chose wrong for your pick of the week this week. So,
what do you like, Jake?
Stella Zayogis.
Yeah.
I saw her play against Suffern. Yeah, she's very good, and being a McDonald's All-American nominee.
Yeah,
can't beat that.
She made the next cut.
Yes, she
that's
did.
pretty impressive.
Yeah. Especially on a 3-11 team.
Yeah, I know it's that.
I saw it on social media.
Yep. You act like you whatever. I saw it on social media. Okay, good. All right, boys team of the week nominee. So many comments I could have made there. Boys team of the week. We start with Byram Hills. I was there on Friday. Drove down the road to see Tappan Zee, and on the way in, people were like, I don't know, I'm looking at this Tappan Zee team on the layup line. I don't know, what's so special about them? I'm like, just watch, just wait. And one of the guys was a coach of a girls coach, and he was like, what makes this team so good? I said, you're going to notice it in the first 5 minutes. Byram Hills goes up 5-2, and you're like, oh, okay, well, man, Byram Hills, they're going to, and then it was 25-5 at halftime. They didn't score from the final 5 minutes of the first quarter or at all in the second quarter, right? So Byram Hills, 2-time defending Section 1 champions. That is tough. Now, they made a run in the second half of that game. They showed some pride and made a run, got within 4, I think, in the final minutes, couldn't win the game. So now they got to rebound. And, they want to win the Section championship in Class A. Pro River, TZ, standing in the way. They got North Rockland coming in. And North Rockland kind of, just big, strong, physical team. And, man, I was impressed with the way Byram Hills handled it. And they had a lead in the final minutes. They gave up the lead. They got the ball back with 9 seconds left. And Kevin Kendall down the court, up and under layup at the buzzer. Aaron Rivera almost, everyone was celebrating on Byram Hills, parents going nuts. Aaron Rivera's half-court shot almost went in.
I saw
which,
that.
when I see that happen, I'm like, oh, I got a buzzer beater on when I'm filming. I got a buzzer beater on one end. I was like, whoa, this might be a better buzzer beater on this end.
Right.
But it off the backboard and missed. But Kevin Kendall, Byram Hills, he had 20 points in that game after I don't think he scored against Tappan Zee. If he did, it might have been in the final seconds. Ben Wolf played really strong. Ben Wolf, big man for Byram Hills. he knew, they showed a lot of threes in Byram Hills. He was in the paint and he was battling against North Rockland, which is again a physical team, and he's led them to maybe just to win, that got him right back on track. So
he's a big boy. He's a big boy.
He's a big boy. Yeah. So that's my first team of the week. Another team that no one really talks about so far this season is Putt Valley. They beat Tuckahoe 62-58 on Wednesday. Jack Marinelli, 18 points and a win over Hen Hud. Zach Gabriel, 13 and 14 against Hen Hud. Logan Moriarty, Ethan Tesher. This team they're coming strong, man. Because again, like in Class B, like who's the fourth team, right? So we all said Dobbs, Woodlands, Blindbrook. Like maybe it's Putt Valley.
I saw them live at Hamilton. Their coach does a fantastic job. They're playing the right way. They're playing well at this time. Remember, most of those kids, John, are multi-sport kids.
Yeah.
And you want to talk about the Marinelli kid. They can shoot the ball. They got kids that can shoot it. And like they almost got Dobbs.
Yeah. No, they did. They're 9-6 in the season, and they continue to keep getting better and probably just keep getting more confident. Team that's getting better is Mayapack. They've won 5 out of 6 in Class AA, which is Jake's conference. They're 10-5 in the season. Drew Lichtenberger, 22 points against Harrison. You guys were there. Were you guys for that game, early in that game? Or that was the first game
No,
of the
we
day?
missed that game.
Yeah.
We missed that
Well,
one.
Lichtenberger, Mayapack is funny. In the media day in the preseason, I brought up all their close losses last year, and it was really was a fun conversation to have with them. But they talked about it and how they're saying, hey, listen, those losses, that was tough, but we have to use it to make us better this year and win close games. And they've done that. Matt Riley had 14 points, 14 rebounds, and 7 assists against Harrison. Ryan LaRue, 17 points. They play Clarkston North at home on Saturday, so that's a big test for them. So Mayapack's a team that, again, in AA, I think it's going to be, the race for the 4 spots at the county center are wide open between about 8 teams. Mayapack's got to be one of them.
I mean, listen, Kevin, you're equal opportunity. You share highlights and lowlights.
Yeah, I do.
So,
that's my thing.
it's a good
Lowlights.
thing.
That's a great. Yeah, that's
lowlights. Yeah. All right, Coach, team of the week, boys. Who are you choosing?
My team of the week is going to be Mayapack. I think they've done a great job up there. Their coach is Coach Matt Calabro. I hope I pronounced that right.
Yep.
Has done a phenomenal job. Another multi-sport community where the kids play different sports. He's got them going in the right direction at the right time. Their physicality is impressive. They're always physical. They've always been physical traditionally, and I love the balance. Everybody stepped up. Lichtenberger stepped up. Riley has stepped up. LaRue has stepped up. So they have a cast around them with balance.
Yep.
That's my team of the week.
That's good. I'm going to go Putt Valley. I think Putt Valley is my team of the week because, every team that has like a good record, I was sort of expecting, not that I forecast a few, but like I wasn't expecting Putt Valley to be this competitive with their schedule because of, new coach, losing a 1,000-point scorer last year. I said, they're gonna be okay. They're gonna be all right. But they're, again, between Putt Valley, Hastings, Rhinebeck, even LaFell, to get to the county center. I think that quarterfinal round to get to county center, all those teams are going to be right in the hunt.
Be
there.
very difficult
good
games.
fight. Jake?
Oh, I say Byram Hills. Yeah.
Good.
Big bounce back win against North Rockland, my rival. So, yeah.
Says a lot that they were able to beat North Rockland. That was the way they did it, and the way they withstood I think it was Ihan Elias had the 3-pointer that put them.
Ihan, yeah.
Yeah, Ihan had the 3-pointer that put them ahead in the final seconds. It was an incredible shot. So, North Rockland's going to be fine. There's a tough loss to go on the road at Westchester.
Coach Ryan always has his guys ready.
Yep. So we go to the girls' side. Ursuline is my first team of the week. We haven't talked about Ursuline all that much. They're 6-2 in their last 8 games after a 1-4 start to the season. They graduate Sophie Nascimento, who's playing great as a freshman at Sacred Heart University. So starting as a freshman point guard in Division I, you realize just how big of a hole she left behind when she graduates.
And unbelievable for her to step in at any Division I program at any level to do that.
And they're so post-oriented of a team, Ursuline, coming back, that they need to find their guards and they need to find consistency. And sometimes teams just need time. And I think Ursuline needed time. They keep getting better. Allison Camus, 23 points, 12 rebounds against White Plains. Julia Rinna, 16 points, 6 rebounds, 4 assists against White Plains. Olivia Sliwa, she's been great on both ends inside. So this Ursuline team is another team that's just coming, man. I mean, could you imagine being your top 4 or 5 seed and, you got your first round game or your quarterfinal game is Ursuline coming in? That's not good.
Not good.
No. Beth Beth Wooder's probably, I think, as knowing the way she coaches, she probably likes a team like this that have to build. Like not high expectations, but we're going to build something here, and we're going to. Not be. They're never going to be the underdog as a Catholic school in Section 1.
No.
But I think she likes what she's got here, and she has some pieces to work around. I'm going to skip down to the third team in their league. Mamaroneck, they've won 4 to 5, 3 in a row. There was a lot of so this team 2 years ago makes the county center. They played New Rochelle in the semis. They upset White Plains to get there, and they were young. And there's so many. Emmy Resendez was an 8th grader. Addie Dorfman was a sophomore. Other young players in this team. And you're like, the future's so bright for them. And then last year, they get a beat in the playoffs, and you're like, that's unfortunate. And then this year they had some ups and downs. They've had some good wins, had some tough losses, and then sometimes things with teams like click. And I wondered if it clicked for this team because they were so centered on Addie being their primary scorer. But we saw this week, they beat Rye on Friday night, and it was Sukenya Tonkora who had 18 points, a game-high 18 points in that game. Emmy Resendez continues. Emmy's had some games where she's been, 4 or 5 points, but then she's been kind of consistently of late putting up 15, 16 points. They need her to be that scorer, just be that confident. She's such a good floor general and just a great point guard. That they do need some scoring out of her. And I think she's only a sophomore. So she's still finding her way, even in her 3rd varsity season. So it's impressive to see what they've done. Sarah Sherman as well. And so this Mamaroneck team, I think they keep getting better.
I want to interject something regarding Mamaroneck. Mm-hmm. It's brought to my attention, like you said about Resendez. I think that started happening at the Ketchum game where she had the 4 threes in the second half, got him get back in after they had a big margin. You know who the key is for them? Tunkara. Yeah. If she scores for them and gives them a third option, they're very difficult. She's got to step up, and both of them have got to do their thing, but Dorfman's going to be who she is. But if Tunkara can give them scoring opportunity threats, as a threat consistent, they're very tough.
In some ways, in girls basketball, in Section 1 especially, you're only as good as your third scorer sometimes. Really what it is.
Sure.
I think in high school in general.
Yeah, you can't rely on two. You can't, especially when one of them's a post player. So it's just a little harder to get her the ball, Addie Dorfman. This Mamaroneck team's getting better. And our third team, I wonder who Jay's gonna vote for, is Suffern. So Suffern, I put Suffern as my 4th team. In my late season county center predictions in the girls' side in Class AA, because I'm like, I just looked at the body of work and even some of the losses, I said, they're gonna be all right. They're 9-4. They're on a 4-game winning streak entering Friday night at home against Tappan Zee. So while the girls probably play early, the boys play late. They beat Clarkstown South on the road on Wednesday. They beat Ossining on last Saturday at home, which was
that's a great win.
That's a really good win because Ossining to me was a lock in AA to be a Final Four team. And they beat them. They beat them pretty convincingly. They beat Newburgh last week. Zoe Brodsky, Nevin Sullivan, Grace Delaney, Nicole DeBellis, she's been solid. And then they bring back Michaela Fay, who was injured. So she's returned. She's the Division I lacrosse by Maryland, right?
Yeah, Maryland.
So she's back. She's back for that team. So they have the pieces to make a run, and now they're sort of building the resume to go along with it.
Coach, you first. You got him speechless. You got him speechless on these picks.
These are 3 really good ones.
They are really good ones.
These are really good ones.
Yeah.
I've known Allison Camus for almost 4 years now, and we've assisted in her development. I'm very happy for her family, and the Ursuline girls basketball program. Glad she had a huge game against White Plains, 23-12. So Ursuline is my team of the week on the girls' side.
I'm gonna go Mamaroneck. Leave Jake with his team. I'm gonna go Mamaroneck. I'll go Mamaroneck because again, I love seeing in-season growth in teams, and I think Mamaroneck is figuring it out, and the opportunity's there in Class AAA. I think that the door's open for teams to join Albertus Magnus at the county center, and then when you're on that floor, anything could happen.
Right. Yes, it can.
Yeah, in season, I think is the most important because that's where you get your rhythm.
Yeah, of course.
Jake.
Yeah, Suffern.
He would
trouble.
He'd be in big trouble, boy.
So yeah, what have you? You don't get to really see them play all that much, do you?
Oh no, we do because there's a lot of games. I think probably 16 games out of or 14 games out of the year.
Okay.
We play on different days.
Oh wow.
So so if we get to travel, if it's close, we get to go. But if it's home, we definitely show support for them.
Good. Excellent. Excellent.
Love
As
that.
you should. That's what the teams do, come to the County Center.
absolutely.
Hopefully you're playing back-to-back at the County Center
hopefully.
in a month,
Exactly.
So that's it. Those are our winners for this week.
That's perfect. We expect your votes online, on social media, okay, because these guys counts, but your vote counts the most, so keep it up. We'll always post the winners of the week on Instagram, so keep doing that. We love that. And now we'll go to our last segment of the day, the KDJ Games to Watch, brought to you by Sports Engine.
Yes. So on the boys' side, Yorktown's going to Poughkeepsie on Monday, which is, we're going to see Yorktown puts their undefeated, only 2 undefeated teams left. And in boys, and it's Yorktown and Tappan Zee. They're both facing some challenge. If they get through this next 5 days undefeated still, they've done something. So they got to go out on the road to Poughkeepsie on Monday. Nanuet goes over to Dobbs. They're going to play again. It's going to be a big challenge for Dobbs. That's the only team that's beaten Dobbs so far this season. Wednesday, Tappan Zee goes to Clarkstown North. So we're going to kind of size up North against maybe the best defensive team in Section 1. Mamaroneck is going back to Mount Vernon. So Mount Vernon beat Mamaroneck on the road last week and sort of, threw a little wrench into this idea that Mamaroneck was sort of this, heavy front runner in Class AAA after they beat up North Rockland the way they did. What do you got, Coach?
Joseph Holness, 6'9", interior presence for Mount Vernon. Is going to be a difference maker.
Yep. And Stepanek is going to be facing Iona Prep on Friday night at Iona University in the big arena, and it should do very well in terms of crowd support. Jake, one thing we didn't talk to you about, another one of your really close friends is Brandon Burrell from Mamaroneck. Have you talked to him during the season about kind of the parallel things you guys are both going through in terms of competing for championships?
Yeah, we talk pretty much every day. He's a very close friend. Played AAU with him, and he's just got the same mindset as us. It's your senior year. You have to make a big mark, and them losing to Mount Vernon, I saw from texting with him, it put a spark in his head.
Mm-hmm.
They need to lock in more. And Coach Carver, very good dear friend of Suffern, he was at our practice a couple of days ago, and we were very close with them. And the most support, we show support for them. Will Plunkett, and just they grew close to me during the B Canny this year.
Yeah.
And Brandon. Very great player. He's going to Harvard next year.
Mm-hmm.
There's not many guys like him in Section 1 with the character he has. And we just can't wait to see how they do for the rest of the season.
You think about that possible picture of you, Brandon, and Jack holding goal ball. That would be
That would be really.
That'd be pretty
that
good.
Would be impressive.
That would be good. Call your dad. Put that on the fridge. That would be good. So those are all the boys games coming up, and the best boys games coming up. What do you guys have coming up, Jake? What do you have after this week? Other than TZ on Friday, yeah.
Then we have Albertus on
That's
Monday.
right. Yep.
And then who do we have after that? Pro River.
All right, Pro River.
Yeah.
So you have a challenging
Monday where, Jake?
At Suffern.
Okay, cool.
Yep.
On the girls' side, some big matchups coming up. Hen Hud going to Tappan Zee in a matchup of maybe the two best teams in Class A. Pelham is right in the mix there as well. We're going to see these two teams square off and see how TZ matches up with the size that Hen Hud has on the girls' side in Class A. Mamaroneck is going to go to Mayapack. Just a good basketball matchup, not really much implications. Mayapack's a AA school, and Mamaroneck's obviously AAA, but just another good test for Mamaroneck. Ketchum, Arlington on the girls' side, the rematch after Ketchum comes back from 14 points down to start the game. Going to go on the road to Arlington. Going to be tough to do that again. Austin, Clarkstown South in another AA matchup. And then Pelham going to go to Ursuline. Again, not a game that really has much. They all have playoff impact because they all the points and everything with the seeding. But just another good test for Pelham, who I think is Coach Tim Petrulli very sneakily challenging his team to get better over the course of the season.
He's staying under the radar.
Yeah.
And he likes doing that. He likes that to be in that position.
Yep.
But everybody who knows girls basketball knows that, John, that team is really good, and he coaches them up.
Yeah. Listen, and all these games have an effect on the bracketology controversy, which is put out all over Instagram.
There's no controversy about bracketology.
I thought we went over this.
This is a math formula. This is not Kevin's who I think the seeds are going to be.
It's like Ken Palm.
Yeah.
Jake, I don't know if you agree that I just said a word. Look at the controversy already happening about this. But
Jake's been around long enough. He could probably do the math himself. He knows how to do the formula and wins are 4 points, bonus point. So it's going to be interesting to see how things shake out in the seeding, and especially in Class AA. Right now, you guys are number 2 behind North Rockland. Behind Yorktown. But you have a difficult schedule left, which will help you with bonus points. It's going to be interesting to see how it all shakes out.
Yorktown's got one of the best catch and shoot players in Section 1. I saw him live the other night.
Yeah.
Connor Morehart. They're good. Yorktown's really good.
They are.
So Jake, it's game night. We record this show on Friday afternoon, just after lunch. Yep. What's your pregame routine going into tonight?
Probably hopefully get a nap in.
Okay.
Get a nap in, get the energy back, and just mentally prepare myself on the bus and get into the game.
Music?
People make fun of me because I'm the only guy that likes country music.
I knew you were going to say country music.
My son loves country music too.
Okay.
I love country music, and it's more about. I always tell this to my team. It's not about getting high before the game, getting a high before the game. It's about staying calm, and I think country music calms you down, and it keeps you at a level to where you don't go from high to low. Once you take those headphones off and you're listening to hype music, you go right back down because you hear everyone around you.
It's a great point.
So when you're at a calm for the whole time, you go into that game mentally. You're there, and I think that's what gives me the edge.
Yeah,
and just getting a good pregame meal.
Do you have a go-to pregame meal? Because you seem to be very superstitious.
I
knew it.
I hate getting out of my routine. My father, he always brings me a sandwich or something. Whatever he makes me, or whatever we get as a team. So whatever food Coach Wright and the booster club will pay for.
Yeah.
But today, hopefully we can get a sandwich after this, get the usual.
And how long's your nap? How long do we nap for? Because Coach Ward needs a nap.
All right, so this year
I love the age where I do take a nap.
Yeah. No one knew. You don't even know when it's coming.
No,
they have
no
any
idea.
time. Yeah.
This year it's hard to take a nap because either we're going to Rye, got an hour bus ride, or we got a 4:30 game at Clarkstown North. So it's tough to get a nap in. Hopefully 30 to 45 minutes. It re-energizes me. But hopefully. Today I can get back home.
One of my favorite things, one of my good friends, he had a business dinner with Russell Westbrook. This is 5 years ago, and Russell, maybe longer, was in his prime. And they were eating dinner, and Russell Westbrook and we were talking. He goes, Russell, what is the key? What do I have to do to stay sharp and in shape and all this stuff? And Russell Westbrook says, you need about 12 hours of sleep a day. And he's like, dude, I got 3 kids. I can't sleep 12 hours a day.
12 hours
How am I going to? I have a job. But the sleep was the key. He said, you're sleeping, and he said, and that was the thing. He said, calmness. It keeps him relaxed, and he's, the lack of sleep, anxiety, not good. Nope. So the naps help. Coach Ward, you go take a nap after the show.
Yeah, we absolutely. Yeah. That's why we have the.
I crashed from the double espresso and 5 cane sugars.
Listen, there's no doubt, Jake, that you are locked in tonight. Seems to be like you're locked in with everything you do. It's very impressive. We loved having you on the show. Thank you for joining us tonight of the day of your big game. And I have zero doubt that tonight you will ball out and you'll break that record.
And if you don't, there's other games. And if you never break the record, you still had an amazing career, man. It's been really fun to watch and get to really know you and get to know your family and just watch your career and watch you develop. It's been special, man.
Thank you.
Whoever gets you in their college program is getting themselves a gem.
Thank you.
And we wish you nothing but the best going forward.
Thank you.
I
appreciate it.
And that's our show. Thank you guys for watching The Winning Moments. Please like and subscribe. Follow us on Instagram. Also, coaches, parents, continue to send us all of the information about the players, the kids. Kevin does a phenomenal job of scouring the internet for all of it and receives all of your text messages, as we also do on Instagram and at the email address show@thewinningmoments.com. But we can't get it all, so keep feeding us. We'll honor and put everything on the show that we can. Thank you guys, and we look forward to seeing you next week.